Real costs of studying abroad UK versus Germany, EU. What many students don't realize before applying. You're about to apply abroad, and the tuition number looks scary. But here's the twist. Tuition is often not the part that breaks you. It's the stuff you didn't budget for. Today we compare the real cost of studying in the UK versus Germany and one EU city, Prague. I'm using official numbers, university pages, government visa sites, EU rules, and at the end, I'll show 3 real-world budgets, with funding gaps, so you don't learn this lesson the expensive way. Here is the formula. Say it with me. Total cost equals tuition, plus living costs, plus visas and health insurance, plus hidden costs. If you only budget tuition, you are budgeting for stress. Let's start with tuition, because this is where the UK and Germany split. In the UK, international tuition is set by the university and the course, and it changes a lot. For example, one big UK university lists international undergrad fees around $17,150 to $18,700 for 2026 entry, but top universities can be far higher. Cambridge lists international undergrad tuition for 2026 from $29,052 up to $70,554 depending on subject. Oxford lists overseas undergrad fees between $37,380 and $62,020 for 2026-27, and some courses are in a different universe. UCL lists medicine at $57,300 per year for international students in 2026-27, now postgraduate. Same story. Big variation. Manchester Met says many international top master's fees are $21,000 to $22,500. Reading lists standard international fees at $26,450 or $31,650 depending on course type. And in London, UCL lists economics MSc overseas fees at $39,200 for 2026 or 27. LSE lists MSc economics overseas fees at $41,000. Also quick note. Public versus private in the UK can matter for deposits. A private London university lists a non-UK deposit of $5,000 for some 2026-27 master's starts. Now Germany. Most people hear tuition free and stop listening. Don't do that. You usually pay semester contributions. Example. TU Berlin lists $360.49 per semester with the semester ticket. And there is a famous exception. Baden-Württemberg. Heidelberg University states many non-EU students pay $1,500 per semester for many programs in that state. So yes, Germany can be dramatically cheaper on tuition, but it is not zero cost. Now Prague, our EU example. Czechia is super clear about the rule. Public and state study is free if you study in Czech, but English programs usually cost money. Charles University says English and other foreign language study ranges from $40 up to $30,620 per year depending on the program. And UCT Prague lists an English-taught example around $80,500 CZK per year for 2026 to 27, roughly $3,500. So, EU is cheaper, can be true, but it depends on language and program. Now the other half of the story. Living costs. London first, because London is the plot twist city. King's College London estimates an average $1,370 per month in 2026-27. That's $21,240 for a full year. And they break it down. Accommodation, $164, food, $167, travel, $173, personal and leisure, $266. Manchester is cheaper. The University of Manchester estimates postgraduate living costs at $1,404 per month and $16,852 per year. They list phone at $35 per month and course materials at $16 per month. One detail. Their table is for 2025-26 and inflation adjusted as of early 2025. So in 2026, build in a buffer. Berlin. Berlin feels cheap compared to London, but it's not cheap. It's manageable. If you plan. Official Berlin residence guidance says you need $992 per month available for study in 2026, and a TU Berlin program literally advises at least $200 per month for Berlin living costs. Rent can vary wildly. A Berlin University program page suggests $500 to $900 per month for accommodation. And student residences can be lower. One student services listing shows $399 to $390 per month in a specific residence. Transport is often wrapped into semester fees. At TU Berlin, the semester ticket contribution is about $211 per semester, around $35 per month when you spread it out. Munich. Munich is Germany's London moment. TUM says Munich costs are at least $1,300 per month, often $1,300 to $2,000. Rent alone is often at least $800 for a shared room or studio, including utilities. Now Prague. Charles University shows a clear table. Shared apartment room around $400 to $520. Groceries around $140 to $250. And student public transport can be as low as $520. They're rounded totals. Dorm lifestyle, $400 to $600 per month. Private accommodation lifestyle, up to about $1,000 per month. Okay, the costs nobody talks about. UK first. UK student visa fee is $558, and UK VI requires you to show money for living costs. $1,129 per month in London, $1,171 per month outside London. Then the IHS, Immigration Health Surcharge. It's $776 per year for students. And if your visa includes a part year under 6 months, that part can cost $388. So for many one-year master's students who get extra months on the visa, you can end up paying around $1,164 total. That's not tuition. That's just permission to be here. Also, TB tests can be required depending on where you lived. Germany, different flavor of admin. German visa fees, $75 for a national visa and $90 for Schengen. But degree study is usually a long stay, so it's national visa and then residence permit. Berlin's official service portal lists proof of funds at $992 per month in 2026, and it lists residence permit fees, often $100 for an electronic residence permit first issuance. Health insurance is the other big piece. TK lists student insurance totals from $141.16 to $146.29 per month in 2026, depending on age and family status. Now EU and Czechia. EU rule: Schengen is for short stays up to 90 days. Longer stays use national procedures. Schengen fee is $90. Czechia admin fees. The Czech Interior Ministry says study long-term visa is exempt from a consular fee, but residence permit acceptance is CZK 500 and the residence card is CZK 1000. And insurance rules are strict. Official guidance requires at least $400,000 coverage with no cost sharing. Now the question everyone asks: can you work your way out of this? UK. If you're on a degree-level student route, you can usually work 20 hours a week in term time. Minimum wage for 21 plus is $12.71 per hour from April 2026. So a simple maximum math. 20 hours x 12.71 is about $254 per week gross. That helps. But it does not magically cover London tuition and rent. Germany. Work rules are clear too. Germany's official portal says third country students can work 140 full days or 280 half days per year. Minimum wage is $13.90 per hour in 2026. So, yes, part-time work can help with groceries and maybe rent. But your visa also assumes you can support yourself without relying on a job. EU baseline. EU countries can't restrict student work below 15 hours a week, but national rules vary above that, and language matters a lot for jobs. In Czechia, the official minimum wage is CZK 134.40 per hour in 2026. Scholarships. Yes. But think of them like a competitive job application. Chevening is the headline UK scholarship. It supports one-year master's degrees and describes full financial support. Germany has DAAD funding, and the DAAD scholarship database is the place to search programs. Deutschlandstipendium is a common German merit option. Official ministry info says it's $300 per month. And Erasmus Plus, It supports study abroad mobility. Grant amounts vary, and the program guide lists specific top-ups like $150 per month for traineeships. Here are 3 practical tips. Short and real. 1. Start early, 6 to 8 months early. 2. Write to the selection criteria, not to your feelings. 3. Prove your plan is feasible. A clean budget is persuasive. Here are the hidden costs that wreck plans. UK. Deposits. In England, deposits are capped at 5 weeks' rent. Holding deposit can be 1 week. Language tests. IELTS for UKVI is $298 in Germany. Germany. Semester fees must be paid in full, and banks can deduct transfer fees. Blocked accounts. You might need to show $11,904 for a 12-month year, and providers charge fees. Expatrio shows $89 setup and $5 per month. Fintiba states $159 opening and $990 monthly for new accounts under a 2025 pricing update. Czechia. Insurance rules are strict. $400,000 coverage, no cost sharing. So what's the takeaway? The UK can be amazing, but you need a serious funding plan, especially in London. Germany can be unbelievably good value, but you still pay semester fees, insurance, and you must show funds. Prague can be a sweet spot, but tuition depends on language and program. If this saved you from a budget mistake, subscribe and comment. Which city are you choosing, and what number shocked you most?